Hi everybody and welcome back to Work in Progress Wednesdays. Now, you saw this guy last week. He's going to be a character in a short film I'm working on, and I've got him laid out with some deformers on the fingers, which is a little overkill, but on the arms, the torso, the legs, stuff like that. And he doesn't have any pegs yet, so I'm just going to click through and add those real quick. Now, I believe what they want you to do is add the pivots on the drawings and then use the parent to peg thing. And I'm not exactly sure if that works. If you have to set it, I don't know if it works every time. I haven't fiddled with it. I think it's a little bit easier just to go straight to the peg, even though the few rigs I've fooled around with so far, for some reason when you do that, going through the hierarchy with the B and option B, it kind of still selects the drawing layer, even though I've got an animate only with peg layers and turn off animation on the drawing layers. So I don't know, it's a little funny. Okay, so let's go up to the top and start setting pivots, and I'm going to turn the animate button off so we're not setting keyframes. I believe this is how you do it. It's been a while. It's been a while for me, folks. So okay, so grab this pivot for the hat, little hat. We're just going to put it there. I mean, right now this is the first pass of rigging this guy up, so you know, when you start placing these, it's kind of just a best guess kind of thing right now. And then, you know, you want to start testing stuff out to see when they move, what stuff gets kind of turned in the wrong way, because it's very easy when you start animating to go, oh no, this is in the middle of the thing and it needs to be at one of these ends. So I think it's a good idea when you're setting up a rig to place the pivots first. I mean, I know what it's like to be in a hurry, to just want to get it done, and you kind of forget about it after all the drawing hassle, and then you realize, oh hey, for some reason this pivot's like right in the middle of the frame or in the middle of the drawing, and it doesn't bend there, and oh, I've already animated a whole bunch of frames like that. And then you move it once. Yeah. And let's zoom in real quick. This is this drawstring. He's got little skulls on the drawstrings. I thought that was a nice touch. So rotate up there. Should probably zoom in and get a. It doesn't really matter. They're probably not gonna move that much. You probably wouldn't notice it. Back drawstring and front drawstring. But you gotta go to like the middle of the frame. Zoom back. Okay, I mean, I don't profess to be an expert on rigging. In fact, I'm still kind of learning how to do it properly, and I'm also kind of playing a little crazy. Like, no, I really shouldn't be doing it like I am, but you know, I have these ideas. I watch a lot of tutorials, then I get ideas of, oh, I could do this and add this effect and then make it look like this. It's like, I should really try and stick to the simple stuff, but you know, that's what happens when you get software that can go to the moon. It's like, well, I want to go to the moon. Don't you want to just like ride around in a golf cart first? No, we're going to the moon, right? Okay. This is a nice thing about deformers. He's got one drawing for the arm rather than having to fuss with an elbow and then have to move it every time. Of course, another thing with the deformers. Oh wait, that. What I put? Okay, yeah, put that in that. Okay, right up there at that shoulder. Another thing with the deformers is you can put a kinetic output port, so that way, like, this hand will drag with the arm, but it won't get warped. I mean, you know, sometimes you might want that kind of effect on certain things. Okay. I've tried labeling these as front and back, like because all my characters that are drawn always kind of have like one arm in front of the other, even unless they're at like a totally straight profile where like everything's lined up back against the wall, like, you know, police lineup kind of thing, which doesn't really make for an interesting drawing. So I try and always have like one foot kind of in the front and one leg in the front. on this or that. Because in that way it makes it easier to name it. And if you name stuff like, you know, front, like left leg, right leg, if you flip it, you'll get messed up. Okay, now where should the torso probably bend it around here at the hips? This one's going to take some placing. I still don't know exactly what I'm going to do with this, because I want his like whole suit to be a red color, and I haven't really drawn his pants, although you could assume that's lost in the jacket. I'm not, like I said last time, I'm not too crazy about this drawing yet. Some of the stuff is still a little iffy, like that mouth, and I'm still trying to figure out the head shape, and that hat. His hat, I'm gonna like frame by frame a lot of his hat's movements anyway. It's gonna do all kinds of crazy stuff. So this was pretty much just to try and figure out a color scheme. Okay, I think the torso is just that color because I'm clicked on it. At least I hope. Otherwise, I'm confused. Anyway, so we've got that. And if I remember correctly, they also want you to close the group and add a peg for the group. Add a peg for the... Did it add it inside? Should have the whole group selected. Is it because it's a group it's not? Oh, there it is. And that's just stranger master peg. Yeah, I could just call him stranger master P. Stranger. I don't know, whenever I think Master P, I just think of that guy. Yeah. Oh, and you want to place the master pivot at the feet, so that way they rotate there and squash and stretch to it. Okay. So there's that, and then I believe they say they want you to make a keyframe on it when making a rig. I don't know. I mean, since I've built the same rig like 3 or 4 times with that blues man guy, it's... let's see. I don't know what hierarchies... Let's see. I mean, most of this stuff should move on its own. I should put a few hierarchies in here. Like with the ears should follow the head, and the mouth should probably follow the head too. Yeah, that's kind of fiddling stuff I'm gonna do elsewhere. I'm gonna show you guys some of the stuff in the network. Actually, let's go to the bigger view of it. Alright, so... Oh, I already had a... Well, that's kind of awkward. Let's just delete that. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so go into the group, and it is a nice mess, but you just click the output and where's the network view? Network view toolbar, and order up or down, it doesn't really matter. Does that toolbar go away? Okay, it does when you're in the different views. See, the problem is I've saved this workspace before because it's a little bit of a mix between the cutout animation layout and the traditional animation layout because it's more customized for me. And I've tried saving the network view toolbar up here, and I've saved this workspace after adding this, and it still doesn't save that. So I don't know. I really like Toon Boom products because you know, once you learn basically Animate Pro, then Harmony and anything else is pretty similar. It's just they have so many options and so many redundant ways to do it because it's all about customization. You want to have options to do things. It's just sometimes stuff doesn't work, or you know, works funny, like, you know, how you can't have spaces in the names for drawings, which I don't know. Things are like they've got a thing for moving outside of a deform group in the network view is you hit the delete key, and I'm like, I understand it's a useful shortcut, but I'd be terrified to hit the delete key. Because yeah. Anyway, that's enough rambling about that. But yeah, see, I've got some of these gutter composite. Some of these should have been labeled better. Did I label them on one of the hands? Or maybe it was a group for the hand. Let's see. This is the full body. I think each hand is in its own group as well. I probably overdid the grouping, to be quite honest. But when you're seeing this timeline, it's a lot easier just to think of everything inside of a group. And then, let's see. What's with hold up? This composite's the wrong kind. Because, let's see. As pass through. Close. Now that's a good thing we should probably check for. Make sure all the composites are proper. I mean, I like building rigs, and I like figuring this stuff out. Because, I mean, I can memorize stuff. So I like to memorize the order of, like, okay, you have to put this in front of this, and then, But there's some stuff you just always have to look up. Like, I keep having to look up the order of to put a cutter and a color override, because there's so many, there's little things where it's like, every time I do it, I mess it up, and I have to see it done right. Okay. That looks like the only offending one. I'm gonna call this guy done for our purposes, because I'm gonna have to put the hierarchy for the parts of the head, and I'm not gonna put a hierarchy for the hat because you want the hat to move freely, obviously. But save. So yeah, I think I'll save it because I think it saves the view too, which is a little weird. So yeah, that's this guy. I'm also gonna show you in the video some drawings I've done with him, because this drawing is kind of based off of one where I was doodling. I spent a day doodling how I want his expressions to go and what I want his model to look like. And if I show you some of the earlier drawings before I really started figuring out the style that this short's going to be done in, it's really, I don't know, my style has been, like, since I started drawing comics a long time ago, I've always just simplified things down, and I think I'm missing some detail, and I kind of want to spruce some things up. That's why I've started doing this in a line-free, cut color, Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I'll see you all on the other side. To find out more, visit NoRightsProductions.com. Follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/NoRights. And hey, why don't you check out my Tumblr at norights.tumblr.com.